Introduce yourself.
Mike Knowles, Managing Director of Fruitnet Europe.
Fresh Produce Journal, how long has it been going around? How long has it been in existence?
It's been around for, you call it donkey's years, 130 years this year, celebrating an anniversary. It was the first fruit and veg trade paper in the world.
If I was looking quizzical, it is such an important, what are we going to call it? It's not really a magazine, periodical institution community within the sector?
The slightly kind of marketing speak word we always use is platform. A platform, but that does actually convey the fact that it's not just about the FPJ itself. It's for people in the industry to voice the opinions they want to voice, to explain what they're doing, to promote themselves. Obviously, advertising is a big part of it, and it's a platform for information, so you can learn from it.
And I suppose one thing we always forget is that we're such that's a big sector. What's the sector turnover in the UK now? I'm guessing 10 billion, 15 billion.
Never good on numbers.
But it's also quite a niche sector, and that's why we need something like the Fresh Produce Journal and Fruitnet behind it. Because it's like the glue. Let's go for that. The glue within the sector.
It is. I always think about the challenge of being a publisher in fresh produce. When it comes up at, with your friends at dinner parties, they say, "What do you do?" And you explain, and they say, "Well, that's really niche, isn't it?" But actually, from the inside, it's such a huge and varied industry, and as a publisher it's really hard, because do you cover the potatoes, or do you cover the berries, or do you cover the avocados when they're coming into this country? What do you focus on? And so sometimes you do have to go for the common denominators, and you have to go for things that are generalist, but there are such interesting things happening in those individual categories, and that's the challenge. And I think that's what the Fresh Produce Journal does well, because it finds people who have things to say that relate across categories. And I think that's why the Fresh Produce Journal has a very good raison d'etre, to use a slightly break-related pun.
Well done. And exciting times ahead. Titillate us as to what
Absolutely. Well, I can try. I mean, the Fresh Produce Journal's challenge, if there is one going forward, is to become more digital. It seems obvious. We've been living with smartphones for quite a while now, but a lot of people are reading on their smartphones, and they're not just reading, they're consuming, they are viewing videos, they're listening to podcasts. So to venture more into that even more, I think you'll see more of that from the Fresh Produce Journal going forward. And we've got some great people on board doing that. We've just welcomed back Nina Pullman, who's gone. She's gone and let's say cut her teeth with BBC. I say that jokingly. Fantastic broadcaster working for the food programme. We've got Michael Barker, who's really now a sage when it comes to fresh produce. We've got Tom Joyce, who's doing a lot more work, who used to do a lot of work on Eurofood, who's now doing more work for the FPJ, and of course Fred Searle in charge and steering a mighty ship.
And what about us? What do you want from us? I've asked this of a lot of people today, because you sometimes are not the best within the sector communicating, whether it be to the NFU or whether it be to talk to Barbara Brave, who's just on Red Tractor. What do you want from us?
You mean people in the industry?
In the industry, as well as doing the opposite, subscribing to the FPJ and Eurofood and attending events like this. What more do you want from us to create this community, to make the sector even stronger?
I'm going to do what people do to me when I interview them. I'm going to say that's a really good question, and that means I don't really know how to answer. My gut feeling is to venture more opinion, to actually put more opinion forward, to be a little bit more ballsy about what you're going to say, and not hide behind the marketing. Sometimes people hide behind the marketing too much. They don't want to say what they're actually thinking, and then you press stop on the record button and they go, right, I'll tell you what I really think. I think retailers are becoming a bit more vocal.
Okay.
Obviously they always have a kind of line to follow, they have to protect their reputation. But I think they're becoming more vocal about what is required from supply chains, what is needed. I've just done an interview with Tom McIntosh from Tesco and TBC, to be published. One of the great things he was saying was, we are talking to suppliers, we're talking to them about the better varieties that we need, even talking to them about we would like some branding. We would like something that draws consumers into buying more products. So, yeah, I think the FPJ thrives on having people talking, not the FPJ people talking. Of course, we are experts. We do publish comment pieces, but we want people in the industry featured in those pages and on those websites.
Well done. And just to wrap up, here's a whole thorny one. Externally, should the FPJ and Fruitnet, all of you, be also working externally to promote fresh produce?
I think we do already. I mean, maybe we could do more.
Can we just pick up the sector?
In what way?
The UK sold 70 million additional bananas last year. That's apparently because we're all sticking them in blenders. But we're still uneducated as a general populace about fresh produce.
Do you mean we should talk to consumers or talk to the public?
Should you be more of a voice to the consumer?
Don't get me started. I would love to be obviously more prominent. Maybe I should give the BBC a ring and say I want to come and talk about produce.
Should we not have you and your colleagues, whether it be Times Radio or the BBC or ITV or GB
Possibly.
News, when there's a big story coming up, we need you guys.
Possibly. I wonder about our group managing director, Chris White, might be very up for that.
Absolutely.
And he would do a fantastic job of being that champion of produce. And actually, it's a good idea. It's a fantastic idea. Maybe we need somebody else. Maybe we need somebody with... Jamie Oliver does a very good job in some ways of doing that, championing produce. But I agree, we need more people. But I don't know if it's for us.
No, understood. But I love your suggestion about Chris, because Chris White, everyone follow him on social media. He has he's so well thought of internationally, and he only speaks 9 languages fluently. So and he knows everyone with the fresh produce. And actually, to have him as a bit of an ambassador, would be.
Dare I say it though? Maybe it also comes from somebody in the industry. You've had people like Charlie Hicks who used to do it, and you know, those people who do become personalities in the public sphere, you know, it's something that someone should do. I agree.
But the market's coming towards us. There's all this negativity towards ultra-processed foods. To me, if we eat more fresh produce, it's going to benefit everyone, the National Health Service, and it's going to benefit the sector.
Yeah, I do actually on that point get the impression that retailers in this country are switching on to the fact that yes, there's the plant-based kind of trend, but actually they've got this huge department at the front of their supermarkets that welcomes people in. But actually it can go further. It can be the thing that actually drives health in the people who are then coming back, you know, even more. The longer they live, the more they'll spend in your shops.
Well done. Favourite fresh produce, just to wrap up?
Kiwi fruit.
Well done. You're brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers. Like magic wand.